Many thanks for your company today on the Marketplace. Welcome back. Now, the Finance Ministry is justifying the introduction of a new system to take over the single window operations at the port beginning this month, despite resistance from the importers and freight forwarders. Deputy Minister of Finance Kwaku Kwarteng has disclosed that government will this month outdoor the new system which will take over operations of the single window at the country's ports.
Important part of the retooling of customs, it's the deployment of an end-to-end customs management system at the ports. We have had some automation at the ports, but these systems have been deployed by multiple vendors. Sometimes the interfaces and the interactivity between these systems are not what we would have loved to see. And so going forward, the key thing that we will see beginning February, it's the deployment of a single vendor that will deploy an end-to-end customs management system. That is the focus right now. I'm confident that that would also provide opportunity to deal with some of the weaknesses we have had in respect of irregularities, in respect of revenue leakages, because the new system is more robust and responds to the challenges that we have seen working with the multitude of vendors that we have within customs management right now.
Is it Unipass?
Yes, it's a new system, but I have to take this opportunity to indicate that it won't be called Unipass. Unipass is the name given by those who are building the system for us, but it is our system. We're paying for it with the taxpayers' money. We will give it an appropriate name on the day we outdoor it.
However, speaking with Joy Business, President of the Ghana Freight Forwarders Association, Eddie Akron, fears the new system will bring businesses to a halt since many of the stakeholders are not familiar with it. He said the users will continue to protest until government listens to their concerns.
Dated with letters or something, they call it come for training. But there's two different things. Are we going for training or is there sensitization on a certain new policy or on a certain new initiative? It is very difficult. Change management basically is difficult in every case. But the way we are being pushed into this right now is indicative of what we're going into. And my fear, truly, is that it's like a freight train running just to crash. Okay? Because what we call training is basically sensitization, that they're doing. Going back on, what we've seen before and where we are now, it will be very difficult to say, unless you're telling me that what you're going to give us now is perfect and is going to, supersede what we have, okay? So it's a difficult because what we're seeing on the ground does not give us that impression, and therein lies the difficulty. You see, we've all been pained by the fact that if there is going to be a policy, those who actually are going to affect the policy or those who are involved in it, we are the front users, front-end users of. We will be the front-end users of this technology. So if you do not get us involved in initiating those policies, it is a recipe for chaos and disaster. Okay? So where we stand now, trust me, we are confused. Okay? So unless we sit down and get to know really what this is, to tell you the truth, we are comfortable with what we have. There is never anything like a perfect situation. And it is our critique and our hard work that has brought the system to this point. After 17 years, can you imagine? We just throw all of this overboard.
Away from that, the Central Bank Governor, Dr. Ernest Addison, says the implementation of the ECHO this year will not come off as planned. This is because all requirements for the implementation have not been satisfied. He was telling the press last week when he presented the MPC policy rates.
During questions from journalists, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, said everything that should aid the issuance of the currency is not in place.
We have said that we still have many unresolved
issues regarding reaching the final destination for a common currency. As you know, the ECOWAS as a region had a program to adopt a common currency which was called the ECO. And the plan for that ECO was to have a common central bank, unitary common central bank with a flexible exchange rate arrangement. And then we had the Côte d'Ivoire announcing that they are renaming the CFA as an ECO. So this meeting was called in Abuja to discuss it, and the delegates were not too happy with the fact that the Francophone zone had unilaterally taken the decision to rename the CFA as an ECO, because the ECO is not safer. The ECO is not supposed to be a fixed exchange currency. And those were the sentiments that were expressed at that particular meeting.
The Ghana cedi has witnessed record appreciation for the first month of this year. But how's the Bank of Ghana planning to sustain this throughout the year? Let's hear from the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison.
The Ghana cedi depreciated by 12.9% against the US dollar in 2019, compared with 8.4% depreciation in 2018. Against the British pound and the euro, the Ghana cedi cumulatively depreciated by 15.7% and 11.2% respectively, compared with 3.3% and 3.9% over the same period in 2018.
Governor of the Bank of Ghana also announced that since the receiver for the defunct bank started working, they've been able to recover 1.4 billion Ghana cedis out of the targeted 16 billion Ghana cedis.
Let's do some developments within the financial sector, because more than 100 vehicles belonging to the collapsed savings and loans and microfinance companies have been displayed for auction in Accra, with many questioning the process by the auctioneers. Earlier, there were several concerns raised by participants, including prices for the cars and the methodology used in the process. Let's join my colleague Ebenezer Sabute now for some more updates. Eben, good afternoon. Welcome to the marketplace.
Hi, I'm watching.
All right, so could you describe the scene at the moment and how the process has gone so far?
Okay, so at the moment, they are just returning from a break. The auctioneers called for a break, which they went for almost an hour, and they returned like 20 minutes ago. At the moment, I can tell you it's a very packed hall, and what you see is that people getting interested to buy one or two vehicles to take home. But there hasn't been a there hasn't been a calm situation from the beginning until just about 2 hours ago, when some of the receivers, the people from the receiver's office, came in to address some of their concerns. But now it's a bit calm here at the Physicians and Surgeons Center. You could see that people are ready and eager to raise their hands or get ready to purchase the vehicles of their choice.
All right, so what were some of the exact challenges you encountered from the beginning of the process?
Yes, so some of the challenges has to do with the price tags on the vehicles, and then also the vehicle make. So some people were raising concerns that they only project the vehicles on the board without a year of manufacture and the status of the vehicle. So you only see the picture, and then they mention the price, which they thought some of the prices were too high, and then also they were not given the opportunity to bring out their price first, but the auctioneer rather give a higher price, and then at the end of the day, they will have to top up with that money before they could be able to get the vehicle of their choice. So those were some of the concerns that they raised, which the receivers came in to address some of them.
And so how many vehicles have been auctioned successfully so far?
For now, I can say about 12 or 13 vehicles were auctioned successfully, and the highest bidders got them. What I can also report is that they have their bankers downstairs, which is Consolidated Bank Ghana. So immediately you are able to get your car, or you become the highest bidder of any vehicle of a choice, and the auctioneer drop the gavel. Then you are made to go down and pay, or you are directed by one of the auctioneers to go down and pay, make payment. They issue you a receipt, and then they show you where you can go to get your vehicle. So I can report that at least about 12 to 13 vehicles were auctioned. And as I said earlier, they went on a break. They are just returning about 20 minutes ago.
All right, many thanks for that update, Mr. Sabuti, bringing us up to speed with the auction which was organized by the receiver for the defunct savings and loans companies. Meanwhile, some prospective buyers of the vehicles set up for the auction by the receiver have described the auction process as a sham. The auction of these vehicles, according to the receiver, is to help pay locked-up funds for affected customers. Charles IT has been interacting with these disgruntled buyers.
A day of disappointment for several prospective buyers in today's auctioning of several vehicles by the receiver of some 342 savings and loans companies that got defunct over the past few months. We're here with the board to get to find out from them whether or not they trust the entire process and whether or not they feel the bids are too high. I saw you take no for the question, do you trust the process? Yeah. Why don't you trust the process?
Because looking at the prices of the cars and then the way they are doing the bidding, I don't trust the process. They already have their prices listed down, not the prices of the people who are coming to do the bidding. So I don't trust the process. Yeah.
And what about the bidding? Is it too high for you? You indicated yes here.
Yeah, I indicated yes here because the prices of the biddings are too high.
So you claim that the entire process cannot be trusted. Why?
Why? Because the price. Let me tell you something. I've stayed for Europe in Germany. In Germany, they used to call the price. The auctioneers call the price, and when they call the price, and they will beat it down. But this they call the price high, and then the audience have to call the price up again, and this is not proper. Look at. I was looking for this Hyundai i10 2016, and there was one on the screen. They were calling 180. Now it has reached 240. This is not normal. Yeah.
So do you also feel the bids are too high?
It's too high, triple high.
So you couldn't buy yourself anything?
No, I just want to go and make my kaya.
Why don't you trust the process?
The process, I can't trust it because looking at how they are going about it, the audience had to question the auctioneers to bring the values of the vehicles before they later brought it on Excel. Even the prices on the Excel that they brought, some of us took pictures of it. And the i10 they sold for 24,000. On the sheet, it was 9,559. But when the auctioneers were bringing out the price, they started 18,000, which cannot be trusted.
So you smell something fishy?
Yes, I believe they bought the cars way back home before we came here. Because you can see, they are all going out.
Let's talk about the bids. Do you think that you said the bids are too high? Why do you think it's too high? Is it that you don't have money?
Yeah, no. Toyota Corolla S, which is 2015 registration, going out for 34,000. How much do we buy it at the garages? 34,000 Ghana cedis for -15.
And this one is total madness. Total madness.
It's live on the marketplace. Let's take a short break here. We'll be right back with more. Welcome back to the marketplace. Now, the Chinese ambassador to Ghana, Shi Ting-Wang, has expressed confidence in China's economy, saying it will withstand pressures brought about as a result of the coronavirus epidemic. Many airlines have cancelled their flights into China, whilst international stock markets continue to be impacted and crude oil prices witness a crash as a result of the fast spread of the deadly virus globally. But in an interview with Joy Business, Mr. Ting-Wang stressed the economy of China will continue to move steadily, but admitted the epidemic could lead to some volatility in the global financial markets.
I'm confident that the Chinese economy will continue to steadily move in a positive direction. Such a general trend will not change because of a preventable and controllable epidemic. The internal dynamism, strong resilience, and huge market potential offered by 1.4 billion people will not go subdued. The epidemic might lead to short-term fluctuations in the financial market, yet quite a number of experts wrote recently in the Financial Times and other media that neither SARS nor Ebola caused a long-term reversal in market trends. I don't think we need to be overly worried. You know, you have experienced Ebola about 4 or 5 years ago in West Africa. And even, you know, that Ebola epidemic has not caused any, that much. So we are confident that this time we don't have to worry, overly worried. China will finish building a moderately prosperous society in all respects by the end of this year. We will continue press ahead with reform and opening up. We are very confident about our economy.
The ambassador is also outlining some latest measures put in place at the embassy in Accra for prospective travelers to China.
Considering the situation of the epidemic, we are taking the following measures. 1, applicants of the visa, if they have the symptoms similar to those of influenza or having been to Wuhan recently, are kindly required to postpone application and go to seek medical treatment. To avoid delay or wrong treatment, the sick applicants should tell the doctor the true information of infections and illness. This is referring the people who have the travel records to Wuhan before. And this refers to applicants who having the symptoms similar to those of that of epidemic influenza, not for the normal people. The consular and the visa office of the Chinese embassy in Ghana will take temperature of all applicants at the entrance from the 29th of January. I think it's starting from last week.
Well, so obviously the corona scare is having an impact also on petroleum prices, of course, downstream on the markets locally. Here we'll be telling you more about this in our subsequent bulletins. But for now, that's it for the marketplace. Many thanks for your company. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. We are here. Have a good afternoon.